Hey guys, it's Steve. So today we're going to be doing a recipe from Adam Perry Lang's Serious Barbecue book. It's an apricot nectar brine pork loin with an apricot glaze. But what I'm really excited about is I'm going to be using the rotisserie unit on the Napoleon Pro 605 CSS charcoal grill. I'm really excited about this, so let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, so the recipe I'm going to be using today is Adam Perry Lang's glazed pork loin with cilantro and garlic. It's out of his Serious Barbecue book. This is one of my favorite books. I've featured some of his recipes on my channel before. Amazing book, highly suggest you pick up a copy. I'll have a link to it in the video description. So for this portion of the recipe, this is an apricot based brine. And so what I have here is this is a 6-pound pork loin. I didn't want to do an entire like 11 or 12 pound loin, so I just had the butcher cut me off a nice little 6-pound piece here. And then over here, it's super straightforward. We have some red pepper flakes that I've rehydrated just with like a teaspoon of boiling water. Kosher salt, table sugar, both half a cup of each of those, 10 garlic cloves, freshly minced, and then we've got 2 cups water and 2 cups of apricot nectar. So all you have to do is basically just put all these ingredients in a blender and then get the loin in a nice large plastic bag and cover it up. And then we're going to stick it in the fridge. So I'm going to go ahead and get these ingredients blended up real quick. All right, so I just have this is a 2-gallon bag. You're definitely going to need a 2-gallon bag for a loin this size. I'm just finishing getting the rest of this apricot brine in here, just like that. And then you just kind of want to get as much air out of this as possible and start to seal this up. We're going to sit this in the fridge for a minimum of 6 hours. You could leave it in overnight, probably about as much as 12 hours. And so just kind of like this, and then that's it. And then we're just going to leave this on this pan and stick it in the fridge, and we'll pick back up in a little bit. Okay, so here we have all the ingredients for our seasoning blend for this recipe. I'll have all these exact measurements listed out in the video description. So we've got some chili powder, some paprika, kosher salt, fresh ground pepper, cumin, garlic salt, Old Bay seasoning, dry mustard, and some brown sugar. The only thing I didn't have was lemon pepper. The recipe just calls for half a teaspoon of that. I wasn't gonna run back up the store just to get that, so that's the only thing I'm missing. So all you gotta do is just take all this and just toss it in a bowl and mix it up. Okay guys, we're gonna go ahead and get our glaze put together here. Same thing, I'll have the ingredients in the video description. I have a ball jar here that we're gonna put all these ingredients into, and then we'll just shake it up so it's nice and simple. This is some apricot preserves, some cilantro, some freshly squeezed lemon juice, some vegetable oil, and then some freshly grated garlic. And so we're just going to get the lid on this guy and get this nice and shaken up. All right, and there we go. So we're just gonna set this aside. All right guys, so here's our pork loin. I let it marinate for about 7 hours. Went ahead and trimmed a little bit of the excess fat off as well. What I'm doing now is I'm just taking some olive oil and just kind of coating it down. This is just gonna act as a binder for our rub. And then what we're going to do is just go ahead and take our little rub here, and we're going to use all this and get it nice and coated on all sides. You definitely want to make sure you pay attention to the sides of it like this. Get all that nice and coated, and that's what we're looking for right there. So this is ready for the grill. All right guys, so here we are out at the Napoleon Pro 605 CSS charcoal grill. If you didn't see my kind of review video, I'll have a link up right now where you can check that out. I'll have a link in the video description as well. So since we're showcasing the Napoleon rotisserie for this grill today, I want to just kind of go ahead and show you how you would set that up. So this is kind of the top rack that you would have in here if you're using this when you've got charcoal down on the actual charcoal grate down below, if you're cooking stuff up here. But you need to go ahead and remove this. So we'll just take this out just like that. And then this is the charcoal burner, okay? So basically what you do is you're gonna get a chimney load of hot coals going and dump all of the coals in here. You basically just kind of sit this down and kind of angle it and get all your coals in there. You can put some smoke wood on top if you want. And there's a couple tabs right up in here. And so you would just take this thing once you have your coals in there, and it sits just like that up against the back. So you have all that heat from the coals just radiating outwards. And then right here, I'm going to show you in just a second, your rotisserie basically just sits right here and it's turning and it's just cooking perfectly from our charcoal burner. Okay guys, so right here is where the little motor for the rotisserie mounts. So this is the bracket that is already on the grill when you put it together, and you've got kind of these little sections to just slide over the top of it, and then your spit basically just goes straight into it and you just turn it on, and that's all you got to do. Okay guys, so I have the rotisserie turned on just real quick so you can kind of see how it's going to work once we have our loin on here. So this rotisserie setup, actually these are 2 of the forks right here. It actually came with 4 forks, so you can kind of have, you know, something over here and something over here. Since I'm just cooking this one big loin, it's just going to be right here in the center. So it's pretty straightforward. Both of the forks have these little clamps right here, and you just kind of tighten those down. The spit also comes with a little kind of like offset weight adjustment that you can put on here. If you're cooking something really heavy, it'll kind of help just smooth out the rotations of the rotisserie unit here. So pretty simple setup. I've already done a couple test cooks. Amazing quality on the food, so I'm really excited about this straightforward setup. Again, cooking over charcoal. Okay guys, so here's a quick shot. I've got all of the hot coals in the charcoal burner there, you can see. That's a whole chimney load right there, so you can see how you actually have more room for some additional coals. And then I've got 3 chunks of peach wood up top just to add a little smoke flavor. All right, and there we go guys. I've got the loin on the spit there, centered right up in the middle. That thing is looking gorgeous. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and get the lid shut here on the Napoleon, and I'll be just checking this this loin periodically with my Thermapen. We'll be glazing it probably about 10 degrees before it's done, probably around 130, because I'm going to pull it around 140, 145. So we're just going to let this go for a while, and I'll pick back up in a little bit to show you how it's doing. All right guys, I just checked our loin here with my Thermapen. It's right around 110, 115. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just start glazing it. I'm probably going to glaze it a couple times before it's done. So we're just taking this Apricot Glaze. Again, I'm going to have the link to Adam Perry Lang's book in the video description. Such an amazing book with so many awesome recipes. A lot of the recipes just have so many just interesting kind of flavor profiles going on in them. Look how gorgeous this looks. Great thing about this Napoleon rotisserie unit is, you know, you're going to get your meat just kind of glazed up like this, and then it's just going to sit there and slowly keep rotating and just get this nice little crust all the way around the edge of it. This is looking ridiculous. I cannot wait to try this. Looks perfect right there, so we're gonna let this keep going. All right guys, you can just look and see how amazing this pork loin looks here on our Napoleon rotisserie unit. It's been about close to an hour and a half, and it's just about done. I just checked it, it's about 135 on the internal. So I'm gonna pull it probably about another 10 minutes or so, let it rest for a bit, and then we'll pick back up in the kitchen. All right guys, here we go. I let this pork loin rest for just about 10 minutes. This thing looks amazing. Let's go ahead and slice into this. Oh my gosh. So tender. Oh my gosh, look at that. That just looks absolute, look how just tender this is. Nice little bark on the outside here. Check that out. Let me go ahead and give this a little try. Wow, that is amazing. The way that apricot nectar brine worked on it for the 7 hours there, you can actually really taste that flavor profile coming out, but then the nice little crust with that glaze on the end. This is phenomenal. I am super stoked on the rotisserie unit, on the Napoleon. It just cooks so evenly. I mean, check that out. I mean, it's basically just like cooked flawlessly. That's what you're gonna get when you're using a rotisserie unit. So I'll have some links in the description. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you again soon.